the problems with selling a business is you lose all your administration staff, so you have to do things yourself. So my PowerPoint slides aren't that flash either, but never mind. So one of the reasons I say yes to speaking engagements is because it actually forces me to think about how I've got to where I've got to and how do I get here. And it was kind of interesting to go back, oops, I'll go forward, might be a good idea, to have a look at that evolution of me and Madison. So, you know, first logo, first print photo, I've got a really bad case of jaundice there, I'm not sure what's going on there. But we grew from a 2-person operation in 1998 to a 100-person company with a turnover in excess of 50 million in 2013. So this is the latest iteration of the logo, a more current photo of me. I think there are many reasons for our success, but with today's emphasis on Asian leaders, I'll focus my presentation on the things I believe contributed to my success as one of the co-founders. So I heard this term for the first time a couple of weeks ago called being the other, which I really liked because it really resonated with me. I think when you think about being Chinese in the 1960s and up until recently in the 1980s, it meant you really did stand out. So everything we did was different. I think even small things. So Kiwi kids probably had breakfasts that looked like this, right? Mine kind of looked like this. And, you know, they weren't quick to make. So that meant I was always late for school. So being the other, though, wasn't just confined to being Chinese. So as you go through business and you get leadership roles or management roles, I was also being one of the few women in management, and therefore I was young. So that's interesting. Being a woman owner of an actual business that was of some scale, that was the other, was unusual. Sitting at a board table around a boardroom and looking at the faces around the table, and you're definitely feeling the other then. So, but having said that, I think being the other gave me great advantages. It also meant that I understood what it was like to be different. I respected difference. I know I'm more tolerant because of it. But also gave me great self-confidence. You might say, why? Because actually I thought being different meant that I was kind of special. So definitely no lack of self-belief there. I also heard this other thing called do something. And when I say do something, I mean I have had some kind of challenging life situations. And if I look at where I got my self-belief from, common themes kind of start to occur. And usually it occurred when I had a difficult situation. And one of those difficult situations were caused by others. And so people imposing will on me. So you had greater happiness, high levels of stress. But actually each time, sometimes it would take me a little while to develop the courage to do something about it. I did do something. And that's the thing about it. You do have to make a change. And what I learned from taking action actually was that by doing something, it always typically resulted in something positive. And that kind of kept fueling my own self-belief and confidence. So that's really interesting. But from those experiences, when I was in those bad times, I thought how awful it was that I was experiencing this terrible situation and these people were awful or whatever it was, and wished that I didn't have to go through them. But with the benefit of hindsight and being a bit older, I think what you learn though is actually just as much as that you might learn from observing good examples, you also learn what not to do. And I think when you see poor leadership and you understand what bad management practices look like and what impact they have on your staff, that was actually really valuable when we're building our own business. So we actually understood if we did something a bit bad, sort of stupid, own up. If we did something or said the wrong thing, own up, be honest. And as I say, poor leadership is one of the biggest concerns I have for New Zealand's business. It's something we need to continually work on. So I actually believe that a person learns equally well by seeing what not to do. It's important to remain open to learning in life, and I think that's the other thing, and I'm still learning. But when I look at hiring people or investing in businesses, which I'm doing now, and I've angel invested in quite a few, I always look at how open are they to learning and how coachable are they. So you've got to keep investing in your toolkit. You've got to keep adding to your toolkit. And hence my crude picture of a toolkit. So not terribly creative, but there we go. I think lastly, because I'm keeping it real short, I was absolutely gospel to the 6 minutes. The thing also, move forward. I find that I often talk to people, particularly when I was interviewing, and for people when they used to come for job interviews at the recruitment company. People can live in the past. And if you live in the past, you're looking for people to blame, you're looking for situations to blame, you're looking for reasons why things didn't happen, or why things didn't go your way. Very early on in my life, I was lucky enough to attend this kind of weird self-development thing called I think they call them a landmark now, but back then it was something else. But out of that, what I did get was how to learn to let go of emotional baggage and not let it weigh you down. And actually that made a huge difference to me in moving forward and thinking about my future. So whenever I think about my future, I have this picture of what that's going to look like. And it might be a picture of where I might be in 5 years. And what I didn't realise I was doing was actually visualising what success looked like for me. And when I got to that picture, I thought, oh yeah, I've done that. And then what was my next picture? And I know there's been research that says that when you actually keep visualising what that picture looks like for your successes, unconsciously, you will always make very small incremental decisions that will actually get you there. And actually that was a really interesting thing that actually I learned much later on, and I realised, hey, I've just been doing that all my life, so yay, for me. It's a technique that is one I'm still using actually, because I'm still on my entrepreneurial journey. I have invested in some startups, and I am starting up something for myself. And again, I'm still visualising what that looks like for me. And one of those things is Success for New Zealand Inc., and somehow I have contributed to that. And hence my angel investment in companies that are outward looking. And my participation quite heavily with a couple of those, because I really see that, visualise that success for them too. And that's what I'm driving for. So pretty much, it's not really so much about why Madison was so successful, but really about perhaps my journey and my contribution to that success ultimately. So I say, well, being the other, be good to people, treat others as you'd like to be treated, because that's something that I learned in terms of understanding difference. Do something. If life isn't good, take action. Change your situation. That's basically what I did. Learn and grow by observing bad examples. You can learn what not to do. Move forward. Take risks, but make sure that you can handle the worst case scenario. So, what's the worst that can happen? If you can take that, manage that worst case scenario, then just do it. Unfortunately, it is a slogan that's been taken by other people. Just do it. But frankly, that's how I live my life. Is just do it. Thanks very much.